All right, so the next one up here, this next problem asks us to find the perimeter, and we see that we're dealing with a rectangular window. So knowing that we are looking for perimeter of a rectangle, that's going to make things a little easier for us. Because remember, perimeter is just adding up all the sides. And if you remember your formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, it'll just be a nice little shortcut. The perimeter of a rectangle is going to be twice the length plus twice the width. And that's because you have two lengths, opposite sides. If we take a look at a rectangle here, length is on the top and the bottom. That's why we have two of them. And then the width, there are two of them, the left and the right sides. So adding up all four sides is two of one side and two of the other. So all we really need to do, all I'm saying is, plug in the values into the right places and we're good. Here we know that we have 15 inches long right there. And then we have 6 inches wide, and that belongs right here. So we'll plug in our values, and we are done. Here we go. We have double 15, and then double 6. Everyone, if we multiply 15 by 2, what do we get there? 15 multiplied by 2 gives us 30. And then 2 multiplied by 6, that gives us 12. Add those together, and that gives us a total here of 42 inches. Perimeter is just going to be inches, not square inches, because it's just distance. And so that gives us the correct answer here. Answer choice A, after plugging and chugging into that correct formula. All right, next question up. So we're going to read that question sentence first. And that sentence says, hey, if we have 12 ounces of strawberry, I don't care about that right now. This is what I care about. How many ounces of banana are there? Okay, so I'm going to highlight that immediately. How many ounces of banana? So I'll immediately write down over here, banana equals blank. Now, obviously, I did skip over that first piece of information in that sentence. And so we see that it says 12 ounces of strawberry. Cool. So I'll go ahead and write that down as well. I'll just go ahead and say strawberry equals 12. Just like that. Now, everyone, before I continue, can you please tell me, what are the two items that I compared in the question sentence? Just for your own reference in the future, what are the two items that we just compared here in the question sentence? Yeah, bananas and strawberries. Those are the two things that we, with our own eyes, saw that were being compared in that question sentence. So in this problem, we notice that there's a triple ratio. So this is a proportion problem, but that doesn't make this any more complicated than the same idea that we've been running with. As a reminder, that idea is comparing the same things in the same way. That's going to help you lead through some of the confusion here. Watch this. The first sentence says, a smoothie uses banana, strawberry, and yogurt in a 2 to 3 to 4 ratio. That's a lot of information. Triple ratio, 3 numbers. Oh no, what do I do? I got you. First, I'm going to write down that ratio. 2 to 3 to 4. Remember, everyone, when we read ratios, we respect the order that it's written in. So I see that the first item listed is banana, and that's where the 2 is connected. The second item listed is strawberry. That's where the 3 comes in. And then the last item listed is yogurt, and that's where the 4 comes in. To make things a little more visible, I'll get rid of those 2 big red highlights so you can clearly see the comparison. So what I'll do is I'll make sure, again, this right here is banana. Middle is strawberry. And then lastly, we have yogurt. Everyone, if we are trying to solve this proportion, which of these parts of the ratio, which of these can I safely ignore? Which of these do I really not need at this moment in time? Yeah, I don't need 4. I don't need the yogurt. Because guess what, everyone? If I'm trying to set up a proper proportion, remember, I just need to compare the same things in the same way. What does my question sentence have me compare? Strawberry and banana. So guess what I care about? Strawberry and banana. I do not care about yogurt. So boom, there we are. Let me now just make sure that I write things into the right spots. Because I have banana over here, banana is represented by 2. So I'll go ahead and just write down banana as 2 right there. And then here I have strawberry, so I have to make sure I use strawberry right here. So strawberry equals 3. Notice that we have to compare the same things in the same way. As long as we do that properly, we are good. And now we have our proper proportion, and we're good to go. Let me just move this right over here, push it along to the side, and now we're good to solve. I'll use a capital B for banana. So I'll compare strawberries to bananas, top to bottom. So we have 12 over B equals 3 over 2. So after we get through all that complicated junk, just reading that triple ratio the right way, knowing that we can ignore that 4 for this particular problem, we have ourselves a pretty good time. Cross multiply and divide. B times 3 is 3B. 12 times 2 is 24. And lastly, what we do is divide both sides by 3. Once we do that, cancel on the left, and we receive our correct final answer of B equals 8. So that'll be 8 ounces of banana. That's what we need. And the correct answer here is A. Let's go ahead and handle our next question here. So the first thing that I'm going to read, as always, is going to be that question sentence for those of us that are watching one of these first videos here. So again, we're not going to go ahead and read all the way through that first sentence. It's the question sentence. What is its area in square feet? So with that said, everybody, we've said it before, we'll say it again. We know area is going to be what I'm going to highlight. But whenever I see that we're including area inside of a word problem, my party people, do you think that it would help to immediately ask what shape we're dealing with? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is worth every moment of thought to think about, hey, if I'm talking about area, I know that different shapes have different formulas. So I'm going to think about, hey, what shape am I dealing with? And that's right over here. That's a rectangle. So my party people, give it to me. What is the area formula for a rectangle? What's it going to be? It's going to be the area equals the length times the width. That's right. It's the product of the length and the width together. And so all we have to do is see if we're given that length and width, plug it in, and we're good. But if we have to do a little bit more work to figure out what they are, no worries. That's fine. We'll figure it out. So here it says a rectangular sheet is 14 feet long, length, and 9 feet wide, and that's the width. So I'll go ahead and plug these values in and then calculate. Length is 14, the width is 9, and when I calculate, I have 14 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36, carry the 3. 1 times 9 is 9, carry the 3 is 12. And so that'll give me 126. And because we did perform feet multiplied by feet, the final answer will be in square feet. So this would be 126 square feet, which gives the correct answer option as answer choice C.